Welcome to the Veterinary Rehabilitation Podcast, where we aim to help fellow veterinary rehab therapists increase their knowledge and elevate their practice. I'm Megan Kelly.
And I'm Elliott. Together, we bring you the latest insights, research, and information in the field of veterinary rehabilitation.
This podcast is brought to you by Onlinepethealth, a leading continuing education membership for veterinary rehabilitation therapists. With Onlinepethealth, you'll have access to a wide range of online resources to help you stay up to date with the latest techniques, advances, and trends in the industry.
Our podcast features in-depth conversations with leading experts in veterinary rehabilitation. They share their own experiences and knowledge to help you improve your practice. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out in the field, our goal is to provide you with the tools and the insights you need to succeed.
So join us as we explore the exciting world of veterinary rehabilitation and help you take your practice to the next level. Hey Vet Rehabbers, in this episode I'm joined by Lauren Elliott, founder of the Melbourne Animal Physiotherapy, to talk about her journey from human physiotherapy into the world of veterinary rehabilitation. Lauren shares how she started her career in human physio, discovered animal physiotherapy during her studies, and gradually transitioned into building a thriving vet rehab practice while still running her human clinic. What began as just a few animals a week slowly grew into a dedicated rehabilitation service with underwater treadmills, multiple practitioners, and now 2 clinics across Melbourne and Geelong. We chat about the realities of growing a rehab practice, from working inside a referral center to buying a hydrotherapy business, expanding facilities, and managing a growing team of therapists. Lauren also shares some brilliant insights on marketing, building strong relationships with referring vets, and why simple things like lunch and learns can make such a big difference when building a referral network. Now, if you have your own vet rehab practice or want to start it and you're looking for free ways to market your practice, I put together a free download called 20 Free Ways to Market Your Vet Rehab Practice. You can head over to onlinepethealth.com/free ways to download it. A quick word from our sponsors. Support, prevent, and rehabilitate. That's the Paul Prosper way. We've built a portfolio of industry-leading brands like Walking Pets, Help 'em Up, Respond Animal Therapeutics, Fit Paws, and Blue Nine to give your patients the gold standard in care. And we have some big news. Paul Prosper is officially the new home of the Canine Rehabilitation Institute and Online Pet Health. We're bringing the best products and the best online education together under one roof to help you and your patients thrive. As a special hello to the Online Pet Health community, we're offering a one-time gift with your next order when you sign up today. You can head over to paulprosper.com/OPH and join the movement in pet rehabilitation. Right, over to my chat with Lauren. Hey Lauren, thank you so much for joining me.
All right, thanks for having me.
Lauren, for the listeners, won't you tell them a little bit about yourself and how you got into the field of vet rehab?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started my career as a human physio. I was sort of debating whether I wanted to become a vet or a physio back in school. And I think for me, the side of the vet care, like the side that we don't like to talk about, where we have to euthanize animals was a little bit of a put off for me. So I thought I'll follow my passion of physio, which I've always been into sport and participated in a lot of triathlons and things like that along the way. So I think for me it was like easy pathway. I really enjoyed the learning about the body, and then I realized towards the end of my human degree is that there was actually such a thing as animal physio, and it was quite new in Australia at the time. I finished my human degree in 2001, so at the time it was like no courses available in Australia to do that. It was really just the ability to follow someone who'd almost trained themselves. So that's what I did. I found a placement in my final year of uni, and it was a great placement with someone who was doing home visits with animals, horses and dogs, and I loved it. I thought, this is great. I want to pursue this. When I finished my human degree, I landed a fantastic job in a private practice, human private practice, and then, climbed the ranks, I suppose, in a way there, was able to become a partner in that clinic within a few years. And I think that for me gave me the flexibility and the earning capacity to be able to take some time away and focus on the animal physio, because I learnt then there was this course starting in Australia, which was the Masters of Animal Physio from Queensland Uni. And I was one of the it only ran for I think four years. So there was four lots of graduates, and I was one of the lucky ones to get in at that time when it was on. And it was a lovely, really well run course in Australia at Queensland. So we were able to do lots of training together, learning from the best in the world. I think there was educators from all over the world coming to teach us. And then I started Melbourne Animal Physiotherapy after I finished my training, my Masters of Animals, because there was no clinics essentially for me to work in. So I thought, oh, I'll just start my own. And I was lucky to then affiliate with one of the local specialist clinics in Melbourne. And we have been affiliated with them basically ever since and grown our clinic in Melbourne. And I've just recently opened a new location in Geelong as well.
Awesome. So how was that transition between the human and the animal? Did you do that slowly, or did you just make a sudden cut once you'd finished your master's?
No, no. So I was like a partner in my human clinic, which was great. So I had a partnership of four of us, and at the time I was able to divide my time a little bit. So I was doing about 3 days of humans and 1 day of animals. It started off as 1 day. Sometimes it was only a few clients a day, and then it's just slowly grew. Like obviously it's a growing profession. It grew and grew. And then they actually, at Advanced Vet Care, where I have the specialist liaison, they decided they wanted more rehab. So they actually bought an underwater treadmill and they opened a whole new section of their clinic for rehab. And they said, would you like to work in this space? And I said, absolutely. So they were running the hydro, I was running the physio there. Um, and I was still working in my human clinic as well. This was like about 15 years I was doing both essentially and growing Melbourne Animal Physio during that. So I was also during that time having children. So it was a bit of a juggle, but I found yeah, I only just stopped working with humans a couple of years ago when I was able to exit my human practice, and that enabled me to then focus on the Melbourne Animal Physio growth and put some investment into that, and then therefore build my second clinic. Yeah, so it's been a gradual transition, and I guess I do miss little parts of working with humans, but I don't generally think about it much because I'm loving what I do, loving helping animals every day. That's my main passion.
So tell us about your clinic setup. So the original one, we'll chat about your new one a bit later. But your original one is, so it was part of a referral center. How did that work? So did you get any commissions from the underwater treadmill clients, or did you just completely work separately?
Yeah, so I think the way it worked was so I was just essentially using their reception and their booking system to get their physio clients booked in. Unfortunately, I feel like it could have been managed maybe a little bit better that clients would come to the physio first to get a plan, but because the hydrotherapy was set up by them and obviously an income stream for them, a lot of clients would just go straight from surgery to hydro and honestly wouldn't even like see the physio. And it'd only be because I would have seen them in the hydrotherapy and looking at their gait, and I would be like, oh, this dog could definitely benefit from some physio. So that's where I think we were starting to get better liaison and better referral across the two, the physio and the hydro. And then yeah, so that sort of worked pretty well. We started to get more and more referral. I would just it was essentially my own business, so I would collect all the payments and then pay the advanced vet care a set commission from each client that I would see, and they would obviously take everything for hydrotherapy as well. And then as things evolved, and it was just a couple of years ago that I proposed to them that I would buy the hydrotherapy business from them. And that's when I think things really started to go very well for us. And we were able to control the referrals in terms of like everyone sees a physio first, gets a plan. Then we set up the hydrotherapy sessions according to that. We have regular check-ins for physio, and that's been really, really great for the growth of our clinic. Absolutely.
Yeah, that seems
Yeah.
like the better way to do it. I've actually worked
Yeah.
before at a practice too, where the veterinary practice ran the underwater treadmill and I
Yeah.
did the consulting, and it is just a little bit disconnected. And sometimes it's connected and sometimes it's completely disconnected. And you pop in there and you're like, well, who is that patient and why they're in there? Why
Yeah.
haven't they seen me first? So yeah, that was a good move. And now you have two underwater treadmills there, so that they obviously had space for you to be able to expand.
Yeah, absolutely. So there was at the time two consulting rooms and a very large space where it was just like a tiny little treadmill in the middle of the room. So when I purchased that treadmill from them, my husband being a great like thinker and property developer, he was like, I think we can easily make room for the second one. And I was so scared at the time. I think I was like, oh, it's such a big investment. I'm not sure it'll pay itself off. Like coming from a human physio background, when we can throw like 20 people in a hydrotherapy pool and charge every person, you know, a certain amount, then you have like one dog in a hydrotherapy tank for 30 minutes, and you're like, this doesn't make financial sense. But I think it just kind of you need that to help get the benefits from the physio session. It's like having a gym, but a controlled space to build strength and have that also ability for the dogs to do something they can't do at home as well, and the owners see the benefits of it right in front of their eyes. And um, yeah, I think it was a bit of a scary move going from one to two treadmills, but I have not looked back. And funnily enough, we're looking to purchase a third and fourth treadmill in the next year for our brand new clinic in Melbourne, which we hope to open next year. So
Wow.
it's going really, really well. So yeah. Currently, yeah, we have four treadmills across our two clinics, but yeah, we're looking to probably have about six in total soon.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is that a different clinic now? Is that the third clinic you're going to open?
Yeah, so we have to actually move from our current location in Melbourne, which is actually a really good time for us because we have literally been bursting at the seams for a little while now. Currently, we have three consulting rooms and two underwater treadmills, but every day with like five or six practitioners, all fully booked, we are like literally like room juggling and tank juggling. If someone's even just 5 or 10 minutes late for their appointment, it's actually puts everything out. So
Yeah.
we just need that extra bit of a buffer. So an extra two or three consulting rooms, another couple of treadmills would be great. And we all really want to have like a doggy gym and a bigger waiting room space for reactive dogs to entry and exit. You know, all of these things we can now put into our new clinic with a good plan because we know sort of what works and what doesn't work now. So yeah, very exciting times for us.
It is exciting. Are you a little bit concerned about moving away from the referral center?
Oh, no, sorry, I didn't explain it. So they're actually the whole building that has that we've been both working in has is
Yes.
getting sold. It's being developed in Melbourne. So
Okay.
we see it happening around us every day. There's like construction here and there and everywhere. And we're like, oh, how long do we have here? And yeah, so that's being sold very soon. It's still on the market, but they've actually bought a new facility around the corner. And we've been in talks with them to move with them. They'd love us to be on board, which is great, and they can offer us hopefully about twice as much space as we have now. So for me, it's a great opportunity. It means we keep a great relationship with excellent referrers that have been with us the whole journey, and I think yeah, it just makes sense for us to work together for long term as well. Yeah.
And they're obviously feeding the majority of your clients at the moment.
Yeah, they definitely do mention us a lot, which is great. They're in like we're mentioned in their discharge notes, which is also really good. So people get home, they read like TPLO, okay, oh yeah, physio, okay, I'll make an appointment, which is good. And they can often walk straight into our clinic after they've picked their dog up, or sometimes we'll even get called upstairs to fit a help them up harness or you know, support a new tripod with some new things to do at home. So it's definitely a great relationship. But we have been really pushing the marketing a lot. We've got out to do lunch and learns. I think I might have done 50 clinics in the last 2 years. So I've visited lots of Melbourne and now Geelong clinics, and I think that's really helped to develop some good connections. And I think the referrals are definitely coming in strong from a lot of great referral bases now. So I think yeah, it's not just them. It's definitely it's growing beyond that, which is good.
So do you have the same setup with them now where they you pay a certain commission or have you gone to a rental per month?
It's actually very similar. We have just been paying, it's like a service agreement. So we just pay like a percentage of our turnover. And it was definitely a great move at the time because I was very new. I was also just recently coming out of having lots of kids, and I didn't want to have like a lot of overheads. But now I think we have grown so much, and that amount of the percentage is far beyond what I would normally pay in rent to
Yeah.
have that same facility, because I renovated it all and made it all really beautiful, and that was all at my expense as well. So we did that a couple of years ago, and I think now it would be great to move to a more like a proper rental agreement, a commercial rental agreement. And they've actually suggested the same thing. So I think for both parties, it'll give them security, it'll give me security as well. And I know exactly where our overheads sit. And I'm confident in our abilities to make like a certain turnover now. Whereas back then I was a little bit more nervous because we were still growing and still new, and I was still doing some human physio, and kids are young and all of that. So now I'm very confident with the next step and moving to a proper commercial agreement.
Yeah, that's paying a certain commission is a great way to start, like you said,
Yeah.
because especially, in the beginning, if you take leave or something happens with one of your kids and you can't work, then if you've got that fixed rental, it starts to hang over you and you start to worry. Whereas you know that whatever consults you do, you just pay a percentage. So it is definitely a safe way to start. But listening to you with four underwater treadmills and increasing your consulting rooms, I was thinking they're definitely going to be scoring off you if they're keeping the percentage.
Yeah, exactly. Every time I paid a monthly agreement that I'm like, oh, that's a lot of money. That's all right.
Yeah,
It's what we agreed at the time, and that's
yeah.
fine.
But it's
Yeah.
good. I'm glad they're open to changing now because that's the right thing to do. All right,
Yeah.
so tell us about when you decided to open up the second clinic, because it's always
Mhm.
a big move from one to two clinics. Everything's going well in the one clinic, and you think, wow, like there's this other area, and people are driving so far. What if we just open up a clinic here? And sometimes, with regards to handling staff and the two clinics, suddenly becomes a little bit logistically challenging. So tell us about the decision to do it and how you've integrated that and how it's working.
Yeah. Okay, so the new clinic we opened is in Geelong, which is about an hour's drive roughly from our other clinic in Melbourne. Um, the reason I actually didn't open it like immediately, I just sort of started consulting a little bit like how I started at the first clinic. Advanced Vet Care actually have three locations, so they've got another one in Geelong. So the same service agreement was already in place. It wasn't like I had to negotiate anything new. I was able to just start consulting in one of their rooms, and I thought, I'm just going to test the waters here and see how things go. And I just started advertising that I've got new facilities in Geelong, started to reach out to a few local vets, and particularly got referrals post surgery from the clinic I was working in. And so I was just doing sort of a day a week down there, and it was getting busier and busier. But what I really missed was having the hydrotherapy, because I felt like that was such a big part of my service now. And I would actually have to work with another clinic in Geelong who had the hydrotherapy. So I was actually losing a lot of clients to them for the hydro. I'd still keep them for the physio, of course, but yeah, I really missed that part of it. So I'm like, there's no space here for hydro. I'm going to have to find something else. And I think at the time as well, I was able to exit my human practice and get like some income from that sale. And I sort of was like, what do I do with this? And I thought, I'm just going to buy a property in Geelong and use that for my business. And we thought, oh, it's actually like a good retirement plan in a way. I'm not too far away from that stage of my life. And I thought it would be a really good thing to buy a property. And we just started looking. And it was just like the timing was just great because there was an old vet clinic for sale. They'd just moved out, moved up the road into a bigger facility. And the one that they'd moved out of was like the perfect size. It's right on a really busy corner in like a main part of Geelong. And I thought, oh, it's meant to be. It was actually an old kind of petrol station. So it had that really nice corner visibility. And it's funny, as soon as I've now done all the renovation of that clinic and put up big signs and all of that, like so many people just walking in, and like lots and lots of yeah, people just knowing about us on the socials because we've got these big signs up. And I think it was actually a really good move to do that. And now we've grown and we're open just 4 days a week. So we're still not open every day down there, but yeah, we're starting to grow. And I just split my time. I do 2 days at each clinic, and we've got a couple of other staff down at the new clinic as well in Geelong, but still lots of growing. We're coming up to our first birthday next month, and we have a big open day planned for that. So I think that will start to get things moving better.
So let's chat about all the staff that you have, because now you've got two treadmills there, two treadmills at the other place, all the consulting rooms. So run
Yep.
through how many therapists, how many hydrotherapists, and then who, because you're consulting at different places, who's managing all these people?
It's a good question. I'm very lucky that everybody just seems to work really well as a team. I have a little admin team who also do consulting, like in hydrotherapy. Some of them even do some physio consulting. Um, and then I've also got some physiotherapists that are just doing physio. And then I've also got some like massage therapists. To be honest, it's hard to keep track of everyone and everything and what they do. But yeah, there's senior physios. We have like two rates for our physios. So senior physios and standard physios. Our seniors have just done a little bit more training, like postgrad training, or they've been in the industry a little bit longer. And then your standard physios have done like a human physio degree, and then they've done some onboarding with us and some like hands-on training with us. And then you've got your hydrotherapists who have gone down different pathways to move into hydrotherapy. Um, yeah, and then it's like managing them all just seems to work quite well, that they all just communicate. And I think sometimes me stepping away is almost better. Like they seem to work really well just on their own and communicate really well. I think we've got some great um, communication channels with our email and WhatsApp groups and things, and that just seems to go quite well. So yeah, the new clinic we have just two physios and two hydrotherapists at the moment, but we have 16 staff in total across our two clinics. Yeah.
And is there a manager managing it, or are you doing that too?
No, we don't have a manager, so to speak. I would say I would oversee everything, but like I said, everyone just seems to work quite well together. I had a practice manager in my human clinic, and I found it sometimes caused a little bit more problems sometimes. Like, I guess if they don't have the same ideas as you, it can actually cause a little bit more friction and tension. So I would definitely cross that path when I feel it's needed. But at the moment, I think things are running smoothly. So I don't want to change anything.
Maybe when you add that third clinic, you might need someone to pull it all
I'll still
together.
just have two because we're going to
Yeah.
just move our current clinic to that one. So I'm not going third yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what is the most challenging thing at the moment with having your own clinic and having, you can maybe just say, like, what is the most challenging thing when you had the one? Is it different now that you've got the two?
Yeah, I would say time with my staff, because I would previously see my team, 4 days a week. And now I see the ones in Melbourne 2 days a week, and I had to reduce my consulting to allow like the room to be more available for my team as well, but also to make sure I have time to work on the business and to help them grow and mentor them. I really enjoy the side of mentoring, like sitting down just with each person and just going through things like, how are they going? Let's go through your cases. And I feel like that time is a little bit more is more difficult to find now, just because I am across the two clinics and I need to focus on the new clinic to help it grow. So I need to be doing the majority of the initial consults and the vet liaison and all of that, just like I did at the start of the other clinic. But I'm really confident that the Melbourne clinic is running very smoothly. I feel like it's on the right path. And I make sure I touch base with each team member at least once a month in that mentoring space. And I've also set up like a tiered mentoring system as well. So my senior physio will mentor my junior team as well. So that way that's taken a little bit off my plate. So we try to, and each person in the team has some responsibilities in managing certain aspects as well. So we've got a good leadership kind of regime, but everyone's sharing a lot of stuff too. So that works good. Yeah.
Who does all your marketing?
We have like I've sort of engaged a few different avenues. we have like a social media company who does a lot of our creative posts. They're just like single page posts. And now I've also been using like a videographer. We just did a whole day of filming on Sunday at our new clinic to capture lots of content. And he's now creating lots of reels for me for our socials. I do find socials work quite well at the moment for me. So we're getting lots of referrals through them. We also, I tend to make an appearance at a lot of local events as well. So we do lots of, like there's a gold rush event, it's all golden retrievers come together. So we have a little stand there where we do massages and things, and heaps of clients have come to us after those events and keep coming. Same with the agility dog days. But I'd say the most valuable form of marketing for me has been the lunch and learns with the vet clinics. And I have one of my team members who's absolutely amazing. I've given her the marketing role because I think she just takes it and runs with it. And I think she does a great job. So she's onto it. She's like making sure that we're touching base regularly with the vet clinics. We're sending them out referral packs. They all get beautiful hampers at Christmas. And we are just being present with them as much as we can.
And
Yeah,
who does the teaching at those lunch and learns? Because I think for a lot of vet rehab therapists, it's a little bit intimidating going into a vet
I
practice
know.
and having to teach them, especially if the vets are a little bit skeptical, because we still do have that sort of older generation who maybe didn't learn about it at vet school that question what we're doing.
I couldn't agree more. Actually, I'd love to get into the universities and teach them when they're actually learning because I think there's such a gap there and they just don't know about us and what we do. Um, so that's my next project. But right now, when I go out, I'm the one who goes out. I've tried to also handball this a little bit to my team, but I think, like you said, it's a little bit scary and I understand that. So I'm happy to get out there and I teach what I know. I have lots of great videos that I show them, and as soon as I show them like a bunny rabbit in a wheelchair, they're like, "Oh!" And like me working on a chicken's leg that's been fractured, like, "Oh!" And then they just start like softening and asking lots of questions, and then by the end of it, they're like wanting to book their dog in to see me. So that's the type of response I really want. And as soon as I give them, the ability to just be open with any case and any question, then I often get lots of calls and emails about cases after that. So yeah, it's a really great way to market your business and develop referrals. And all you need to do is provide a nice, yummy lunch. So it's as simple as that. And I take along like a little pack of brochures and discount cards and some information sheets and stuff as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so when I was a vet and we were in the back doing procedures, the receptionist used to come through and they'd be like, "This pharmaceutical person or whatever has come to see you." And the vets always say, "What have they bought? Like, what do they have for us? Like, is it worth our time? Is it chocolates? Is it
Totally.
wine? What is it? What are we going to get?" Which is so bad, but it was so true. It was like,
No,
"Are we
you
going
have,
to
it's so
endure
true.
listening to that person? I will if I get chocolate or chocolate cake or something good."
I have learned that actually. I've found that most people like the Vietnamese, and so I usually bring some nice banh mi's, and that always is a big tick of approval. So, yeah, you got to find
Okay,
what
no,
works.
yeah.
Yeah.
And tell me so what you're actually teaching them. Do you just go there like this is what I do and just give a whole lot of examples, or this is how I can help you? So what is what
Mm.
is the topic that you're actually giving, or
Yeah.
you're talking about specific conditions, or is it quite open?
So I usually start with like our background, and I'm sort of trying to promote us as a really evidence-based profession more than anything, because I think there's just so many things out there now, and it's hard for the vets to know who's really good and who's going to be trusted. So I sort of go back to the basics and I say, look, you all know what human physios are. We work with evidence-based practice. We always make sure we're following what's the new and latest things are out there. Any new research, we're going to take it on board. So this is how we base our animal physio practices on, is the same techniques, the same things that work in humans. And so that's why I say, like, you have an ACL injury in a human, what's the first thing you're going to start doing after the surgery? Is you even before the surgery, we're going to have a physio consult. We're going to do some prehab. We're going to build some strength. And then afterwards, we're going to try to get straight back into activity again. And so as soon as I relate it back to the human world and what we do in human world, they sort of understand because most people have had an injury or they've been to a physio at some point. And I think for me to relate it back, it just seems to help them trust me. So that's always where I start, is like our background and why we are the best to sort of refer to. And then I move into the conditions we treat. So I'll move through like different things that I do in the orthopedic neuro worlds. And then what our assessment entails. So I try to run through what a basic physio assessment is, and ensuring that I communicate with the vets around that as well, and that I get the records, and then I communicate back what I find straight away with an emailed letter with a summary of my findings. So that way they feel very involved in the process. I always make sure they know that we stay in our lanes in terms of the rehab side, and we don't jump into the medications or investigations or x-rays. That's their space. And we find that the team approach is the best thing. So I make sure that they feel like we're not stepping on their toes in any way. I think that's really important. And then from there, I'll move into the cool videos around stuff. So I'll talk about these are the exercises that we often do, and then we'll show them some hydrotherapy. They always really like that. And then lately, we're doing some really cool stuff with some custom prosthetics and custom braces using like Wimba and 3D Pets. And so I show them some of the stuff we've done there. And I'll do a little demo sometimes of how I do a scan and how that all kind of comes together with the printing of the prosthetic. And I show them, yeah, how that process goes through, and then yeah, by the end of it, there's usually lots and lots of questions because they would have had like a case recently. They're like, "Oh, I think this one might benefit. What do you think?" And I'm like, "Actually, everything would usually benefit from physio." So by the end of it, I've just got that message across, and that seems to be the best thing. Yeah,
Yeah, it's great that you keep connected with them because you just got to keep top of mind, right? Um,
yeah,
the more you connect with them, then they remember actually that you're there. Isn't it so strange
mm,
that there is such a disconnect between animals and physio and people in physio that you actually have to say, like in humans, this is what they do. And
mm,
then people are like, oh yes,
yeah.
that's right. Why don't we do that in animals? But it's true.
I
I mean,
know,
for owners, it's the same. It's like, and for vets, like there's just this disconnect. Like it's just so strange that people you have to actually point it out that
I
it's the
know.
same. It's exactly the same.
Yeah,
But it's there. That disconnect is there.
yeah.
Um, one of the questions I want to ask you is obviously you designed your practice and you expanded a little bit where you are now in Melbourne, and now the new clinic you had your space and you did some renovation. Is there anything that you did there which you wish you hadn't and you regretted? Any changes you made? Because I know with me, like for example, we've renovated our house and we've got another little holiday home which we did exactly the same thing, and I thought like I'd learned in the kitchen from the first one when I did the second one, but then there are still things that I did wrong. So do you have a similar thing? Is there anything that you can share that you would probably change that you did wrong?
Because I'd sort of had so much time in the older clinic in Melbourne before it had been renovated to know what didn't work, I think the new clinic I sort of had a really good understanding. So at this stage, being only a year into the new clinic, I have no regrets yet, but I'm sure there might be some coming. Like we've even gone down to the stuff like acoustic boards around the hydro tanks in their own room so we don't actually hear when the tanks are filling and emptying so the dogs don't get scared. We've got an area sort of set up that might be used for doggy daycare for rehab patients that we always wanted to have in the Melbourne clinic, but we didn't have space. But when we get busier in the new clinic, we'll be able to have that. We've got an outdoor waiting room, which I've always wanted as well, so the dogs can be out in the fresh air and not feel as stressed in the clinic. So I think at this stage, I don't have any regrets in the new clinic, and I can't wait to put everything into practice in the next new clinic because I think even more like, because we can kind of start from a blank canvas there with just a big shell. And I know that we're going to just make it such a great facility. I can't wait. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing worse than having like some minute little rooms that you just have to work with, and then suddenly you can just decide how big you want your rooms and how the flow and everything. So
Yes.
it's really exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we can't wait to have like a nice big gym as well. This is probably the only thing, and it's nothing that I could have changed, is the size of the rooms in the Melbourne clinic is just a little bit small to do. Like when you've got a greyhound and you're trying to do cavalettes, it's like you do one or two steps and you're like, that's it. So having a bit more space to actually do some gait training and all of that would be so great. So we're very excited to have an actual gym in the next clinic.
If you could give one piece of advice to somebody who's first starting out in vet rehab, what would it be?
I think just jump in and keep going. I think that's the key. Like, and probably make some great connections with a few great referrers who trust you and believe in you and do a great job with those first referrals. So almost go above and beyond to make them feel so special and so pampered, which is what we're doing in our new clinic now. You just want to make their experience exceed expectations, go above and beyond. And then that will just feed back to those referrers. And then all of a sudden, more and more and more will come. So I think do a great job early on and don't be scared to spend money to make money. So buying those hydro machines will pay for themselves, even if it feels like it's so far out of your price range. I think it's worth it 100% of the way.
Yeah. Especially with the hydro units, you just have to work out how many you need as a minimum to pay for it. And that was always my
Yes.
goal just when I first got mine. Just got to do that. And it came so quick. Because
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
soon as it's there and people know about it, it just like
Hmm.
you say, you just do a good job and they come. They come. So
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And look after them. Like we had one that was there for 14 or 15 years. So if you look after them, they do last a very long time.
Lauren, it's been amazing chatting to you. Congratulations with everything that you built and good luck for the new move. And yeah, it would be
Thank you.
great to catch up with you in a year's time or so to see where things have changed. And I've got a feeling that you're going to be planning that third clinic the next time I chat to you. It sounds like there's a lot of growth and a lot of opportunity there.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Bye for now.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please hit the subscribe button so you get notified every time I load a new podcast. I'm here every week talking to vet rehab therapists from all over the world about all things vet rehab. A big thanks to our sponsor, Paw Prosper. Their sponsorship allows us to be able to give this podcast to you for free. So go and check them out at pawprosper.com. And also don't forget to bookmark the next Vet Rehab Summit on Saturday, the 14th of November, 2026. Come and be a part of the world's largest online veterinary rehabilitation conference created specifically for you, the vet rehabber community. Online Pet Health members get VIP complimentary access to the Vet Rehab Summit. For more information about continuing education for vet rehabbers, you can go to onlinepethealth.com.